In the world of cheap phones, there is plenty of choice from brands like Huawei, and this part of the market is so important that even Sony has handsets around the £100 mark. But king of it all has to be Motorola. When it launched the Moto G, everyone was amazed at just how good it was considering its modest price. The company pushed that even further with the Moto E, which brings a 4G handset to the sub £100 price bracket. So which of the current generation of Moto G or Moto E would we suggest you buy? Well, the easiest thing to consider is the price. The Moto G, broadly speaking, is the better phone, but it's also more expensive. You pay £150 or so, about £50 more than the Moto E, but you get some nice extra features. For £100 though, the Moto E still offers 4G and a bunch of other great stuff. The screen is one area of difference. The G has an HD 720 by 1280 panel, while the E has only 540 by 960. The screen on the E is smaller though, at 4.5 inches, while the G has 5 inches to offer. The camera is fractionally better on the Moto G. There's 8 megapixels here, while the E can only muster 5. Both can only shoot 720p video though, so budding filmmakers might want to look at something else. Storage is the same on both. You get a meager 8GB, but both can also take a 32GB expansion microSD card. In terms of raw processing power, the E has the slight edge here. It uses a more modern chipset in the Qualcomm Snapdragon 410, while the older G uses the 400. That said, both run quad-core processors at 1.2 GHz, so the actual power difference is negligible. The battery in the E is also a little bit larger than the one in the G, so that should make for a longer lasting phone, especially given its lower screen resolution. If size is of interest to you, then the E is the real winner here too, as it's much smaller. It also weighs a tiny bit less too, at 145 grams in comparison to 155 grams. So what conclusion can we draw from all this? Well, put simply, either phone is a great choice. While the G has a tiny bit more to offer, the E is a really great handset for much less money. As these phones exist in a part of the market where every penny counts, we think the E is likely to be the best choice for most people.